Hi, good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for popping in, tuning in, wherever you are coming at us live. I'm so excited because I'm here today with my dear friend, Alex VandeHei of
Yes.
Pro Digital. Thanks so much
Hi.
for being here.
Thank you for having me. This is so fun. I'm so
Well,
glad you asked. I'm like, yes, I'll go live in your group. Why not?
So Alex is a dear friend of mine. Not only is she a fellow boss entrepreneur in the Green Bay area, she also happens to be one of my good friends and one of my bridesmaids.
Yay. And
Uh,
your wedding is for sure happening in September. I'm just calling it. Like
we're going to make it happen. Absolutely. That is the vision that I am holding.
Yes.
So Alex, like I said, is founder and co-owner of Pro Digital, and they are a boutique digital marketing agency. They do everything from SEO to websites to social media support. And today, Alex is really just going to lean into talking about mastering SEO and how to kind of break that down into layman's terms so that we can all be super successful. So if you don't mind, Alex, could you share with us what is SEO and why is it important?
Yes. Okay. I was just making sure that we are live, and it just went live. I keep looking at my other screen to make sure we're good, but we are.
Yeah.
Okay. So what is SEO? Oh my gosh. Well, I always keep things in layman's terms because I know that before I entered this world and I worked at my corporate job, we actually worked with an SEO agency that specifically specialized in digital marketing at my corporate job. And I had no idea what they were talking about. They talked about all these jargony terms and it was super confusing to me. So I like to keep everything in layman's terms because I bring myself back to that place. So SEO stands for search engine optimization. And essentially it's what makes your website rank on Google. So what does that mean? When you type into the search bar on Google, there's all of these listings that show up that are typically websites for what you searched for. And that is those websites that are listed there have put in some effort to their search engine optimization to be able to be placed for what you searched for.
Yeah,
so
higher in that list.
Yep. So the better your SEO is, the higher your website will rank, or that specific page will rank on the top of that list. So it could be Google, it could be Bing, Yahoo, whatever search engine there is out there. Obviously, we all know and love and use Google. So that's just what we typically say when we're talking about SEO.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing that, because I think that SEO is one of the things that is most intimidating, whether you're a new business owner, whether you've been in the game for a long time, you've heard about it, you know that it's something that you should put some effort into, but there's just so much that it's thrown at you. Everybody talks about it. It's a buzzword, and you can go so technical with it, but it can also be so simple. It just depends on the level that you want to go with and who you work with, whether you're supporting yourself or someone else is supporting you too.
Yeah. I would say that don't be intimidated by it, because it can get really technical. I don't even know all the ins and outs. I have an SEO specialist on my team that she's the definite guru. I know enough to be dangerous and I can do it, but I'm not the master by all means. I don't know everything. I'm not keeping up personally with the latest trends. That's her job. Love her for it.
Right.
But because the algorithms are always changing, there's always something new to figure out and know about. But there is some basic level knowledge that every business owner should know and equip themselves with, just to be cognizant of SEO when they're creating blog posts or creating their website. Blogging is a huge proponent for SEO to make it be top notch. So
totally. I know
that was my first tip. If you have a website and you are not blogging, make sure you get a blog. That's gonna help and increase your search engine optimization tenfold.
And I think if you take some time and just consider some topics to blog about too, you'd be surprised what you already know and what your ideal client doesn't know, that you can simply put into word form, or I'll let you guys in on a little secret. A lot of these videos that I do for you guys, I'm recording them and then having them transcribed to turn into blog posts so that there's content all different places, working smarter, not harder. And when you're talking about a topic that you know a lot about and you're serving people, you're naturally putting keywords into what you're saying. And if you just turn this into a blog post, it's already going to be search engine optimized and ready. So that's just a little fun.
Oh yeah, that is brilliant, Kate. And I will just say this for everyone that's watching, Kate's SEO is top notch. Especially, I know that you have a few blog posts that you really have done really well with, especially like in the Zion National Park and all that. And that's all kudos to Kate and her team. HiPro had nothing to do with that. So
Well,
way
thank
to go.
you. I appreciate that. I will say that as a photographer, I find it very easy to have blogging be a part of my regular strategy, simply because I can talk about my clients a lot. I can talk about the locations, whereas some businesses, you might not necessarily be able to talk about each individual client. So I very easily find a lot of blog content and therefore a lot of search engine opportunities that I'm able to put into my strategy. But that is not to dissuade anyone from trying. There are limitless. You can go on Pinterest and search blog ideas and you're going to come up with a list of 100 or 500.
Yeah. Yeah. So there's lots of strategies, let's just say, but you're using your own intuition on what people are searching for, thinking about, okay, what is somebody who is my target audience searching for on the internet?
Right.
Can I create a post about that?
Mm-hmm.
So, for example, it might be if you're a photographer and you're trying to, and I don't know how many photographers are in this group since you're the photographer, but if you're a photographer and you're trying to drum up some business in your area, you might talk about the best or the top 5 venue locations in your area, right? So that when somebody's doing that research, your blog post shows up, then they end up on your site, and that's how they find you.
That's perfect. I'm going to check because I'm thinking that our video might have paused. So what I'm going to do is let's just keep recording and then I can push this to Facebook.
Okay.
It's showing on my end that the live video has ended somehow. So
okay. I'm seeing it. So, and Holly's watching. Hi, Holly. Hello.
Perfect. Okay. Well, then it's just my end and we're going to keep rolling.
Okay.
So as an SEO expert, what does HiPro focus on when somebody comes to you for SEO support?
So a lot of different things, but we start with keyword research first and foremost. And we do competitive research. So we're looking at your competitors. What are they ranking for? We're doing the research behind what your service or products is and what people are searching for to find you. And then figuring out, okay, is that keyword easy to rank for, or is it more difficult based on how many other companies in your industry are actually ranking for that keyword, and how many people are searching for it. So we will look at month over month. Basically, there's 100 to 1,000 people searching this keyword in a month. We're looking at those top ranking keywords and making sure that even though you think, okay, I do wedding portrait photography, or this is a great example. So a lot of photographers, I'm just on the photography world, but a lot of photographers that do senior portraits, they like to call their service senior portrait photography. Well, when you go to high school and you're talking to your buddies and you're like, I need to get my senior pictures done, what are those high schoolers typing into Google? They're typing in senior pictures, not senior portraits. So even though you're a top of the line photographer and you want to call them portraits, that's not what your target audience is calling that service. So we're doing that research behind the scenes saying, okay, they're actually calling it this. We need to kind of change up your verbiage on that web page and in your descriptions and titles so that we're ranking for this word, not this word.
That's brilliant. And that's something that so many people don't necessarily consider, I think, is what is our ideal client calling us and how can we use those words
Mhm.
to familiarize ourselves and to be more approachable to them. I think when we're using the words that people recognize, that makes us seem a little bit more approachable, even just from a general business standpoint, not even from like SEO, but when people understand what we're talking about instead of inserting our technical jargon. That's one thing that I
Mhm.
see a lot while we're talking about photography is in an about page. A lot of people will say, I shoot with this camera or this lens or that kind of thing. And that's awesome that you're showing that you have backup equipment and that your client is going to be cared for. However, not all of our clients are other photographers. They're not necessarily going to care about those technical pieces. That can almost be a turnoff where they're like, I don't know what they're talking about, so I'm just going to move on here and go to the next thing. So
Right.
even just in that higher level business world, I think that's important to know how our ideal clients like refer to us.
Yeah, absolutely.
So what are 3 to 5 things that we can all do to up our SEO game?
There's a lot of things. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is do your keyword research. So this can be super simple, and you want to only assign 1 to 2 keywords per web page. So you've got your home page, you've got your about page, maybe you have a services page, maybe you have a contact page, et cetera, et cetera. So each of those pages on your website only gets 1 to 2 keywords max. So a keyword is something like wedding photographer Green Bay. Okay. So that verb, or that, not verb, that keyword, that phrase is 1 keyword. So I would put that on a home page, or I would put that on your services page. You can put it wherever, but make sure the content is about that information.
Okay.
So one thing that people, sometimes this is good and sometimes it's bad. You can have a services page that you have like 3 different service offerings, but you have all of those services on 1 page. What it might be beneficial for you to do is break out that services page to 3 different pages on your website, so that if you're doing brand photography, if you're doing wedding photography, and you're doing boudoir photography,
Mm-hmm.
those could be 3 separate pages so that they can all be ranked for. All those keywords could be ranked for.
Right. Got
Does
it.
that make sense? Versus having 1 page with all of those service offerings on it that you can only rank Green Bay photographer because you don't want to confuse Google and call it boudoir photography when you're talking about branding photography and, all
Right.
that. So I think that's where you did really well with thinking about Clem & Co. versus Clem Studios, because you broke out those brands so that your Clem & Co. website can rank for business photography, and your Clem Studios website can rank for wedding photography and boudoir photography.
Right. So if I were to have all of the offerings just on 1 page and it was just 1 web page I'm looking at, it was wedding photography and boudoir photography and brand photography. I think what Alex is trying to say is if you break those out, you're able to put a little bit more information about each of those niche areas. And then Google, let's say that you search Green Bay wedding photographer, it might rank that specific page of your wedding photography services, and your ideal client won't necessarily see your brand photography page, your boudoir photography page, that sort of thing, because you've broken it out and put the emphasis into those keywords for that 1 page, rather than having it in 1 space where Google is reading wedding photography, boudoir photography, brand photography, and then just having that all in 1 space could also confuse your ideal client.
Yep. 100% spot on.
Okay.
And so if you look at HiPro's website, our website is not best practice. Like, don't look at our website. The mechanic's car is the worst on the block. I'm just going to say that, but we're working on it.
Well, you put so much time too into like client work, oftentimes your own like practices for your business that falls to the wayside.
Yeah. So our website, the HiPro website, we've got all of our services on 1 page. We've got website, we've got SEO, we've got branding, we've got social media, all on 1 page. And that's not great for SEO. It's good for a user experience to an extent, but it's not. we're working on breaking out those pages for an SEO, from an SEO perspective.
Okay, so focusing on the keywords, keyword research, that's one tip. What
Yep.
are maybe one or two more that we should focus on ourselves?
Yes. So then you want to, I wonder if I can share my screen. Then you want to focus on page titles.
Okay.
So if I can share my screen, maybe we could do this. Oh, it's going to be, hold on, please. I don't know why we're trying this right now. Okay, never mind. We're not going to do that.
Okay.
So page titles. So if you go to your Google Chrome browser or just your browser, internet browser, and you hover over the tab in your browser,
Mm-hmm.
and you see like, you see what it says there, because sometimes it's longer than what you can actually see on that tab. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yep.
That is your page title. And you want to make sure, so what happens is your page title typically automatically defaults to what you have it be called in your navigation heading. So if your about page is called about,
right,
that page title will be called about. And so making sure that you infuse those keywords into that you research into your page title. So you don't want just about, you want about Clem Studios Photography, or about Kate McFadden,
mm-hmm.
Clem Studios Photography. So what are people going to search for? About Green Bay wedding photographer.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so infuse those keywords in your page title.
I think
that would be my second tip.
Share my screen quick. And
okay.
The bar here. So this is where what Alex is talking about. This tab here.
Yep.
And so it's not showing fully what I say here, but I have Green Bay and Door County wedding photographer as my like tab information.
Yep.
Even though this is my homepage, it's not called home. Now,
yes.
I have no idea if it does it on the rest of these. So like for weddings, I have Weddings Clem Studios. I probably could have added like Green Bay weddings or Wisconsin weddings or Door County weddings to make it even higher. This it could say like meet Kate McFadden, Clem Studios, because that way if somebody's even for whatever reason deciding to Google me, then this page would show up about me. Ideally.
Yep. And you can change it so that it's not just Clem Studios, it's Clem Studios Wedding and Boudoir Photographer, Green Bay, Wisconsin.
Right.
So that is brilliant. So depending on what platform that you use, if you're using Squarespace, if you're using WordPress, if you're using Wix, whatever it is that you're using for your website, there's different directions, so to speak, as to how to change that. So that would be, you'd have to let us know on the back end. I'm not going to get into that, how to change that.
Sure.
We can, if you want to know, let me know. You can message me and I'll just give you the tutorial.
Well, thank you for that. And I think, the third tip that you already mentioned is blogging. Blogging is a great way to up your SEO game, get you ranked higher. And once you've done that keyword research, you'll have a little bit more knowledge on even what to say in your blog as well.
Yes, absolutely. So blogging, make sure you're blogging. I would say two times per month is a great goal. And not just blogging, for a photographer, I know a lot of photographers just blog their shoots. It's really valuable to actually have other content in there and other tips and tricks, and think about what are tips in my industry and blog about that. And make sure the title of your blog post has what somebody is going to Google search. That's the best way to start ranking, is if somebody's searching for how to find an elopement photographer in Zion National Park, your blog post should be called that.
Yeah, that's perfect. So then now you've given some tips. So what are one or two SEO myths that you want to debunk?
That blogging is dead. I think a lot of people are like, oh, nobody reads blogs. Well, okay, nobody reads blogs, fine. But it's still helping your search engine optimization. Even if they click on it and don't read it, it will help your business, your website rank. And that's all there is to it. So that's my first one. It's still important to blog. Another myth.
I will say with the blogging too, I have never written a blog post that I've regretted writing. There are
Right?
always ways that, I mean, for me specifically, I can use a blog as a portfolio piece. I can use it as a tool because I do blog about topics other than just my client sessions. So I have categorized some of my blogs on Squarespace, added a category of wedding resources or wedding tips. And then I'm able to
Mm-hmm.
have a whole section on my website that is dedicated solely to those blogs that I can then share with potential clients, current clients, that sort of thing. So even though I'm coming up with this content and my lowest intention is to be ranking higher on Google or that kind of thing, I'm still getting the keywords out there, but I'm still coming up with a resource. So there's never been something that I've written that I'm like, wow, that was really a waste of my time. I'm so upset that I did that.
Yeah, totally. That's a great point. I love that. I need to get better at blogging.
Is there another myth that you want to debunk?
I can't really think of any other myths off the top of my head. I should have asked my SEO expert this question because I'm sure she hears them all the time and is more in tune with them. But I think to think that you can't DIY your SEO is wrong. I mean, you can DIY your SEO. I think it's definitely worth your investment to hire somebody who knows what they're doing because we're always better at, staying in our own lane and being an expert at what we're an expert at. Why would you want to become an SEO expert when you can put your time and effort into like really just getting really solid on what you're an expert in? That's always, I don't know, that's a myth, but that's my thought process around
Totally.
Outsourcing and that sort of thing. So
I completely agree. If people are watching this, like, I need this, I don't want to do it myself, where can they contact you for support?
They can email me. My email is alex@highprodigital.com. They can go to our website, fill out the contact form there. It's highprodigital.com, HEIPRODIGITAL.com. And then follow us on all of our social platforms and that kind of that stuff. I don't know. That's where you can find me.
Perfect.
Or just message me on Facebook. I don't care.
Alex is very approachable. So then before we wrap real quick, what is something that you've been working on recently that you're really excited about?
Honestly, so I guess we could use this as like a sort of an announcement. HighPro is, we've offered social media services for a good year or so, but we're really diving into the implementation of everything. We previously only offered strategy sessions, and now we are really diving into, okay, we are literally going to handhold you and start creating and scheduling your content. So we are an overall social media management company, and we're really, really excited about that. And I know this topic was about SEO, but we also offer social media management. Mm-hmm. And we're really excited because we just started partnering with Kate at Clem & Co. To offer like this overall package where people can get their photos done and then have the content to go along with it. So we think it's going to be a beautiful relationship where we can work and serve our clients fluidly.
I am so excited for this because this, I mean, just what you're talking about of being in your zone of genius, this will allow the small business owner and female entrepreneur to just solely focus on her vision, business growth from a higher level, and leaving it to us to create the image content, to put it on social media where it needs to be in an optimized way and in a space that your ideal clients are going to see this with intention behind it from both fields. Because what this means is Alex and I are going to be having conversations of, this is what the client is looking for. And there will be some collaborative meetings where you're meeting with both of us or parts of our teams at the same time so that we're all digesting the same information. You're getting two heads together rather than just talking to us one-on-one individually. And we can come up with a really, really strong and robust plan that looks at the photography and the images that we need to create from that social media standpoint, with the input that you as the business owner are giving us of, this is my vision for my business, this is where I want to make an impact, take me there.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be great. So that's what I'm really excited about.
Cool. Well, I am too. I was going to leave it to you to introduce that one. So
Yeah. Yeah. That's going to be great. I can't wait to like launch it officially to the world too.
yeah, world domination, my friend. Awesome.
Yeah. So
Well,
if anybody has any questions, feel free to reach out to me. I'm happy to answer specific questions about SEO and social media if you want to talk about that.
awesome. And again, her email was alex@hyprodigital.com. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments as well. We will follow up. But thank you so much, Alex, for taking the time, sharing with this group. They are amazing entrepreneurs that are in here and tuning in. So we greatly appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me, Kate.
You are so welcome. Talk to you guys
Bye.
soon. Bye.